Mathematics at Ennet College, a YouTube channel for high school mathematics education. Mathematics 3C and Mathematics 4. Swedish high school education system. The definition of the derivative. Hi, this is Babak. In this video I am going to solve the following problem for you. Let f be a differentiable function such that for every real numbers x and y, we have f of x plus y equals to f of x plus f of y plus 5 times x times y. If f of 0 is equal to 0, and if the limit of f of h over h as h goes to 0 is equal to 1, determine f prime of 2. I recommend you to pause the video at this point and try to solve the problem yourself first. If you do everything correctly, the answer that you will get for f prime of 2 is f prime of 2 equals to 11. Okay, now let us solve the problem here. You see that the question is about calculating the derivative of a function at a given number 2. Of course, when we want usually to answer this, what we do is to calculate the derivative of the function and then replace the x in the function with the given number. But the point is that the rule of the function is not given to you directly, but a property of that rule is given. That property is that f is a function with this property that f of the sum of two numbers is equal to the f of the first one plus f of the second one plus 5 times the first number times the second number. So you see that we don't have the rule for this function. So this will motivate me, especially when you see that a limit is involved. It motivates you, might be this is the case, that this can be solved using the definition of the derivative. Okay, so let us see how this will go. So you know that f prime at a number a is defined to be the limit of f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h when h goes to 0. This is the definition, yes? Now here you're supposed to calculate f prime of 2, so it means that in this formula you will replace a with 2. Okay, so then you will get f prime of 2 is equal to the limit of f of 2 plus h minus f of 2 divided by h goes to 0. But now this is the same expression more or less. You see, if you compare this with this one, here 2 is playing the role of that x and h is playing the role of that y. So I can write this as the limit. Instead of f of 2 plus h, I would write f of the first one, which becomes f of 2, plus f of the second one, which becomes f of h, minus 5 times, plus 5 times the first number, which is 2, multiplied by the second number, which is h. So what I have written so far is actually equal to only this first term. And then after that I have a minus sign, and then I have f of 2. So I would write f of 2 and the whole expression divided by h goes to 0. Yes? Okay, even though we don't know what f of 2 is, but we don't need that because it is simply cancelled out. And so this becomes the limit of f of h plus 5 times 2 is just 10, h, and then divided by h goes to 0. Yes? But then if you just pay a little bit of attention, because you have the limit of f of h over h to be equal to 1, this motivates you to write this separately and write it as f of h divided by h plus 10h divided by h, yes, when h goes to 0. But then here, this h here and that h are cancelled, so this becomes the limit of f of h over h plus 10 when h goes to 0. Okay? But this is a constant, so the limit of any constant is the same constant itself, and the limit of the first part is given to be 1. And then there is a rule, there is a theorem, that if I have the sum of two functions, and I know each limit individually, the limit of the sum becomes equal to the limit of the first one plus the limit of the second one. But the limit of the first one is given in the problem directly, which is 1, and the limit of 10, which is a constant, it doesn't depend on h at all, it remains 10, and then when you add them, it becomes 11. And that was the answer that we were looking for. Okay? So below this video, you will find the link to the scanned version of this note. I hope that this video was useful for you. Until the next video, be safe and goodbye.